Hello children, Krishna Ma'am here, and this is the second part of the video, that is the final one of the lesson Albert Einstein and School from chapter 4 of Snapshots. Now what did we learn yesterday? Yesterday we learned about dissatisfaction with his school. He was not happy there, he was not happy with the lodging, and he told his friend, he told his cousin Elsa, with which he will marry later. She will become his second wife later. They'll marry together. And he confessed with both of them that he wants to leave the place. He doesn't see any point of wasting money of his father. So it got on his nerves studying at that place. He just can't stand it anymore. So he made a plan with Yuri. He told Yuri that I have to do something to leave this place. Then Yuri also asked him, what will you do after leaving Munich? What will you do? Won't you study? Then he told that no, I'll go back to Milan and I will get admission in some other school over there, which I think would be better than this place. Because he knew that, but then he told that unless he get a diploma from Munich, his father will not allow him to leave the place at any cost. Then he told Yuri that, look, we have to do something because I have to leave this place. Because if I stay here anymore, it will be difficult. It was just getting on his nerves. So then he just, a plan clicked in his mind. He told that I'll get a medical certificate made where, that is a learned medical certificate where they will prove that, the doctor will prove that he is having some problem, okay, nervous breakdown problem, which if we say in simple language, in common language, mental problem, okay, so much under depression. So I'll get a certificate made in that connection and I will take a leave, or I will leave the school on that point, okay, on that basis I'll leave the school. So he asked Yuri, do you know of any doctor who can make me this particular certificate? He has to ask whether he knows any doctor, because just any doctor will not issue such a kind of fake certificate, children. All of you know that. So if you have to get a fake certificate made of such a kind, you have to know somebody and ask him as a favor. So Yuri told, okay, doctors, I don't know much, or to be frank, I don't know any neuro specialist, okay, who can issue such certificate, but I know one medical student who just did his graduation, who just passed out, okay, who just passed out, and he is in medical line. I can ask him. He will certainly make it for you. So that evening, that day Yuri went and had a discussion. He had a discussion with the doctor and he told everything. He told all the problems of Einstein and what he wants to get, what kind of certificate he wants to get. And then he told Einstein that, okay, the doctor agrees to make the certificate, to issue such certificate for you. Now Einstein was so relieved. He was almost in seven clouds because he can leave this place. Can leave this place. So next day he went to see the doctor, and he was just thinking in his mind, how would he put the situation to the doctor? How would he talk to him? But nothing like that happened, because as I told you, Yuri had already briefed the doctor what all this young boy will need and why he would be coming to see him. So he was hesitating. I don't know really how to describe my trouble, Dr. Vail. Okay, his name was Dr. Vail. He was telling, I really don't know how to describe it to you. And the young doctor, he put a friendly smile. Why did he put a friendly smile? Because he knew that this young boy was in a very sulky mood. He is in a very depressed condition. So he needs to be consoled. Okay, if somebody is depressed, children, if somebody is having a hard time, somebody is very gloomy, what gives a magical touch to them? If someone talks nicely to the person. So the same magical touch the doctor put on him, he told in a friendly smile, okay, don't try, because Yuri has already briefed about you. He has already given a history of the case and he has already told me what do you want. Okay, fine. So after that, after having some talk, he asked what will you do after leaving this place, this and that. Then he told that I'll go back to my parents' house, my parents' place in Milan, Italy, and I'll study there. I'll continue my studies. I'll get admission in college there. Fine. Then he asked what the duration also, that for how long do you need the relief from this school? 6 months, something. So he issued the certificate, which was very much needed by Albert. He got that. He was very, very happy. And he asked doctor about the fees also. He was not having that much money to pay the doctor, but somehow he has to ask. That's courtesy. Has to ask. Then doctor told, okay, don't worry, it's nothing. Okay, it's nothing. If you want to give something, if you have anything to spare, means if you have some extra money, you can take Yuri for a treat, because he was the one behind this. Because of him, you got this certificate made. So he told, just give a nice treat to him. And to be frank, Albert Einstein was not having that much spare money, but still he took Yuri for supper that evening. And he was very happy. He showed the certificate to Yuri and he told, isn't that wonderful? So, and they had a small talk that it's for a duration of 6 months. And then he asked, what will you do? Will you come back after 6 months? And Einstein told, no way, I'm not going to come at this place again. What he used, I'll never go back to that place. Okay, that place means that school. Fine. And after that, Yuri reminded him also to get a good reference from his maths teacher. Because children, if you leave a school or something in between the session, it's difficult for you to get admission anywhere. Okay, unless you have a good reference. So he knew that he's very good at mathematics, so his maths teacher can give him a good reference. So he went to his maths teacher, Mr. Koch. He asked Mr. Koch to give him a reference. And Mr. Koch, his maths teacher, was having very high opinion about him, because he knew that this boy is so good at maths that, and he told this also, that I know that you cannot study at this place anymore. You're so good. Your maths is so good. You have understood almost everything which could be taught here. So you have learned maths up to the point that you could teach us one day also. He felt embarrassed. Einstein, he told, no sir, okay, this is too much. He says, no, I'm just telling you the truth. And that was the truth, that his maths was very good. He was a genius, and that spark of being genius was there in him since he was very young. Okay, so his maths teacher gave him a reference, and he told, there is mention here that maths period was the only period where he went and sat willingly in the class, okay, with enthusiasm, because he wanted to learn that. Other subjects, especially history, he simply hated that. And so his maths teacher told him also that I knew that you are going to leave this. Actually, he meant something else, which we will know later. Why he told this point that I know that you are not going to stay here any longer. Okay. Because word is used, Einstein, I knew you were going to leave before you knew yourself. Means I know it before you. He was puzzled also. Why? What does the teacher mean? What did he mean? But he found out. He found out soon what was the meaning of it. That you don't know, but I know before you that you are going to leave this school. He was going to the head teacher to get the leave from that school. Okay, he wanted a leave for 6 months or so on the basis of the certificate that the doctor has asked him to take a rest and not study. Yeah. So he didn't have to wait to be called, because as soon as he was near the head teacher's room, he was called. He was surprised. But in a way he was happy also that he didn't have to wait there for his line. So he went there with a throbbing heart. That why did he call? But the head teacher told, I'm not going to punish you. Because usually when the head teacher, principal, they call any student in the room, usually they call for punishment. No head teacher, no principal call to pat a student in between the class. Okay. So he was called, but the head teacher told, I'm not going to punish you. Okay. Because you stay here. You stay here is troublesome for all the teachers, and it makes them impossible to teach the students also. So you are a trouble for this school, and you are being expelled from this school. So he was rusticated from there. So, Albert Einstein, who was not ready for this kind of response, he didn't imagine. So he was simply dazed to hear that. He told, leave school now. Then the principal said, that's what I said. Okay, leave now. Okay. But he was so cool, he was so patient that, and he had that self-control on him. He felt very bad. He felt very humiliated and insult. He felt that insult, that somebody has to expel me from his school. But he wanted to shout at him. He wanted to tell him what opinion he holds about the education system here, what opinion he holds about the teacher here, about the school here, and the way things are taught here. And he wanted to say also that it was almost impossible for me to stand here for one instance also, and that's why I have brought this certificate. And that's why the certificate was burning in his pocket. It's been used there because before he could produce that, how much plan he made for getting that certificate. How hard he had to think the way to leave that school. And the water was poured down on his plan. Why? He could not show it. Before he could show it, before he could tell anything about leaving that school. Okay, the other end, the principal asked him to leave that first. So, but he withheld all his temptation, all his anger, And he had that much of tolerance, that much of self-control in him. What he did, that he simply kept cool, held his head high and walked away from the school, not even for once looking back at what he is leaving, because that's the place he wanted to leave. And after that, he left the school, and he went to his father's place, and that was the journey towards what we know him now. Okay, so children, this is all for today. I think we have covered everything in this book. This is all for today. And again, as in every video, in this video also I'm stressing the same thing. Have a read, because it's beneficial for you to read. Once you read it, it's beautiful and simple. And this is not story, this is a biography written by Patrick Pringle, okay, in that book. But this is written in very interesting way and simple language, and I suggest you to read it and go through it and understand it, because if you read it, it will be easy for you to understand it. That's what Einstein told. Understand the things, not simply learn the facts. Okay, understand the points behind that. So this is all for today. Have a lovely time. Good day, children.